You know, sometimes you could be busy but not feeling like you're really making progress on anything, like active progress on anything.
Something's got to give.
All right, you guys, so it is Thursday now. We just walked into the new warehouse. This is your first time seeing it, but it is a mess. Dustin's working away to try to get this mess under control and get everything organized and whatnot. It's pretty exciting for all of us to be moving into this new space, and all the opportunity and all of the different possibilities that come from this space are pretty awesome. That said, back to the topic of the video and how this all relates to that. The volunteer work, the dental work that I had to get done yesterday, which is why I didn't finish filming this video, all of those things are amazing, right? It's great to have maintenance items in your life and things that kind of fill your cup on a regular basis. But for me, you know, I've kind of been in a limbo waiting to hear back from NYU. And then I had this whole thing where I was going to be a pilot and I failed my medical exam for that. And there's been a lot of downtime for me lately. And music and working on these videos is kind of a passive progress type of feel. It doesn't really always feel like you're making immediate progress or progress that you can track. So this new warehouse space and all the possibilities in it are exciting because it's now an opportunity to start working on something that I can track progress in. Not only from a business perspective of like trying to get clients in the door and actually use the studio space, doing the build out, like spending time working on the build out. There's just something different about active progress versus passive progress in life. To me, we need both of those things to make life feel full. So I'm really excited to have this new studio and this new warehouse to be working on. I don't own any of this. You know, I'm grateful and super blessed to be in a position where I'm getting to build my studio space inside of this warehouse in collaboration with a bunch of people that I'm super close to and a bunch of people that I'm friends with and I would be friends with whether this existed or not. That's just a massive blessing. Let's go check out the space that we're going to be occupying, and then I'll give you a little bit of a tour of the whole warehouse and what we plan on doing with all the different spaces. This is the podcast room. You might hear a little bit of an echo in here right now. You can obviously tell that it's super bare. The whole room is empty besides our trusty interview table. This is what I'd like to call a world of opportunity. So you guys are technically standing from the perspective of the door that leads into this room. Now, the whole concept of this space is to be able to fit 3 different sets that will operate as 4 different sets, and then we'll be able to use the center of the room as a command station where I'm building what we call Mega Desk. Thank you to Chicago Podcast Studios YouTube channel for that idea. This Mega Desk will be on wheels and all the cameras will be mounted to it as well as our video switcher, and then whatever set we're using for that day or for that client, we'll just kind of rotate it around. Should keep the floor area really clear and maximize the amount of space that we have to use in this room. Now you're thinking, Payam, where are the different sets going to go in this room? Well, that is what we're here to figure out. I think the best way to plan this is to think about where the couches can go. Now, only 2 places that couches can fit in this room. One of them is that corner over there. One of them is that corner over there. And deciding on which corner the couches go in for the couch set is going to help us determine where the interview style set, where we just have 2 different chairs, and where the interview style set where we have a desk in between people is going to be able to fit. Honestly, the way I see it right now, the couches probably go in this corner. The 2 chairs probably go in this corner, and then this is gonna have to sit either right here, and one person's gonna have an angle of the door behind them, or this is gonna have to sit right over there. I think it's probably gonna sit over there. So I think I've made my decision. Couches, chair set, interview set. That way we have 1, 2, 3, and the fourth set that we get out of this is if we were to just pull this desk off of the wall a little bit, someone can sit with their back facing the wall essentially, and that can be a single person like interview, one-on-one kind of look. And then I can start thinking about probably building out my charging wall and whatnot right here, which can also be used by a couple of the other people in the studio. For example, we have a warp wall that's going to go in the warehouse. I know, super exciting. And the photographer, videographer that works in that space primarily is probably going to want to use the same charging wall that I have to keep everything consolidated. And he's also on Sony cameras for the most part, so it works. The idea is to have all this done before January. The next few videos are really gonna be heavy on building this space out and getting everything ready. So we're gonna start off in the actual warehouse space, which Dustin is currently cleaning right now. Just getting everything set up and kind of put away in its different spaces. But as you can tell, it's a bit of a mess, okay? There's stuff everywhere. This is Dustin.
Discovered where everything's at. We're pretty much putting all our cables right here, kind of racks on top. They can be like trusses and stuff like that. Then next we got most of our lighting equipment, lasers in the back, speakers over there, fun times over there, and then kind of everything put to where it has to be.
Yeah, so pretty general warehouse layout. The cool part for you guys is gonna be further in the back over here where there's gonna be a little bit of a lounge space, and then they're planning on building out a warp wall and putting some DJ decks on the other side of it. So we really have like this fun chill area. This whole space behind me from the pole that's in that top corner over there. This whole space is going to be a lounge area. Probably put a pool table over here, a bunch of couches, probably some of the couches that are hanging out in this corner. And this corner is actually where the warp wall is going to go. So I know you guys have seen the warp walls before. We're really excited to have something like that here. It's going to be super versatile and super useful. And then opposite the warp wall behind me here is probably going to go some DJ decks, some trussing, some lighting, some lasers. It's useful for the production team here to have a space to like practice with and set things up and try things out. It's also useful for the DJs and the creators that come in to use the space, practice their sets, you know, have fun, maybe throw some small shows. Well, you never know. We have a break room in here, which is probably just going to stay a break room. Then we walk in, we have the podcasting room, production room. This office will be the pre-production room for production team, lasers and whatnot. This is going to be our conference room. You can tell the conference tables are already in here. Our Studio A space, that's going to be Music Studio 1 and Music Studio 2, and then a big office area where all of the production team can work on equipment and have nice cleanly space for that. So yeah, it's exciting. I can't say anything more than that, and it's coming at a perfect time for me where I should be hearing back from NYU in the next couple of weeks. This is kind of holding me over and getting me excited about working on a project outside of just the music and the videos that I've been working on. You know, I've really genuinely enjoyed creating more and putting my focus into creating rather than consuming, especially with how crazy the world has been lately. Having my focus more so on this than on consuming all of the news and all of the brain rot that's going on all over the world has been amazing for me. You know, I've been in limbo for a long time, trying to figure out what I'm doing and making plans and weighing the options and pros and cons. And not to say that fun stuff hasn't happened over this time period, but it has been wearing on me more and more as the months have gone by. Yeah, I'm pumped.